Hello, and welcome to this week's installment of I'm Fine, Everything is Fine podcast. I am your, yeah.
Well, I'm your co-host. What? Yeah. Yeah, wait, what? Yo, what's up?
All right, anyway, I am your host, Drew. I thought we were just dry running through the intro there, but no, we're recording, and this is fine. I'm totally cool with it. No,
Are
I'm
you
good.
sure?
Let's do it. Yeah, this is great. I love it. We're recording video. Hopefully, it don't fuck up the video too bad.
Like I said, yeah, I mean,
What?
I'm already a little.
Feeling good?
Yes.
Very good. We are coming to you from Dirty Jersey. We hope you guys had a good week. Please remember we are here for you. Please come chill with us at the kitchen table. This week's episode 51 is brought to you by ashwagandha, iodine, and overzealousness. Hello, Evan.
Hello, Drew. Hello.
Please hit us up on our email. Send us whatever you want. We'll talk about it on the show. We appreciate any criticisms, comments, concerns, funny stories, or how anything that we talked about on the podcast pertains to you. So please hit us up on our Gmail. The letters I am fine. Everything is fine at Gmail. We have many social medias as well. You can follow us on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, at IFEIF_. The one place we want you to go, though, is YouTube.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right. We will be getting some YouTube exclusivity going on.
Yes.
In the future.
That's right. We did a lot of pre-production today as we were setting up, and we got some big things planned for the future.
Get a jump start and go subscribe to us right now.
That's right. Subscribe now. Turn on notifications. We'll let you know when new episodes are up. Also, if you follow us on Twitter, I literally am going to put it in the computer into my thinking machine right now that you should FaceTime us while we record if you would like to talk on the show. You can hit us up on FaceTime on your Apple device, the letters IFEIFFaceTime at Gmail. If you plug that in and you call, my computer will ring right now.
It will. It will.
So I'm going to put that on our Twitter. And if you're sharing the show, please, Apple, Spotify, Google, Amazon, Audible, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, not Pandora. Fuck you, Pandora. And yeah, overzealousness is the theme of this week's episode, Evan. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great.
You're feeling good? Yeah. Not overzealous like I was?
No, yeah. I was going to ask you to elaborate. What do you mean? Why?
Well, you see, what happened was, as I said in the opening of Hi at the Steakhouse, our premiere video on YouTube, on our YouTube channel. If you just search IFEIF on YouTube, it'll come up.
Should watch it.
Episode, yeah, it was an homage to our 50th episode, and we went to the steakhouse, and in there I say, hey, we're going to video. That's easy to say when you only have to record one camera,
yes.
And you just have to edit one video that's only 4 gigabytes large, but it's a lot different when you're filming a multicam fucking podcast in this place. So I was overzealous. I was like, yeah, I could do it. My computer can't handle it. It can't.
Okay,
it's
man.
Not even close.
You live and you learn.
It is not even close.
Like I said, my computer's even starting to slow down a little.
Yeah. Your computer is like 4 years old, 4 years newer than mine.
Yeah, at this point, I've had it for about 2 years.
Yeah.
3, going into 3. Maybe 3 already.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I remember when you bought it. But yeah, so that's where we're at. So I have a new computer coming. Oh shit! I have a new computer coming. I ordered it. Evan and I are ready to buy in, and really, we have some really big plans for the show. It's going to be morphing and changing, but it's always going to be moving forward. And I think it's going to be a great little thing for us. And this is our project. I don't want to do what we're doing for the rest of my life. Like, as far as our work is concerned now.
I'm not getting any younger.
Right, exactly. So, like, the time is now,
Speaking of.
Yeah, go ahead.
You had a birthday the other day.
I did have a birthday. Thank you.
Talk about it, man?
Sure.
Want to talk about it?
Yeah.
I know you had to work, which, fuck that.
This was probably, like, the most uneventful birthday that I've ever had.
Really?
I had to work. My boss scheduled me, so I was there at the store doing my thing, working, and I wasn't really able to celebrate. I'm not a big drinker anymore. So I was thinking about like maybe stopping at and getting like a scotch or something at a bar on the way home just to celebrate, but I didn't. I just went home and I just watched more YouTube videos about video editing because I'm trying to become an expert. But I will say this: every time I have a birthday, whether I do something or not, it always makes you think. Think about like how much longer do I really have? How many more birthdays am I going to have? And when I got home, last night. This is kind of personal, but I'll tell you. When I did get home last night, I did not stop to buy a scotch. I did go home to watch YouTube videos. I did have a little scotch at home, so I poured a small glass for myself, and I lifted it up, and I said, "This is for all my friends who didn't make it to 36." And then I took a sip, and then I dumped it down the drain.
Pour one out for the homies.
There's a couple people like that I went to high school with that have already passed away from all different kinds of shit, and that's
unfortunate.
That's what I was thinking about last night. I was thinking like it was, it's my birthday, and I just couldn't help but think about like those people that didn't make it, that for whatever reason aren't here, and that was kind of like a nice little moment, thinking about my mortality. That's what birthdays mean to me now. They're not happy, fun things.
They already mean that, especially this year. Yeah. I'll be 27 at the end of this month. Mm-hmm. And there's always the elusive 27 club.
Yep.
A lot of the big artistic influences of pop culture died at 27 of some fucked up reason. So it's like, even I doubt that'll be
the
me.
27 club.
I doubt that'll be me, but I'd like you said, how many years do I have left? What am I going to do with the years that I have left? Yeah. Every year I like to go to the art museum to get inspiration on longevity.
Okay.
And it just it's like these people are able to make things that last hundreds of years, thousands of years.
That's cool.
What the fuck am I doing?
I know. That's a good point. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Mitchell?
I can hear you.
What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on mortality?
What, that we're all gonna die?
Yeah, essentially, yeah.
I don't know. You should just always take that leap. Never be afraid, because tomorrow could be your last.
Amen, brother.
Amen.
I love it. How are you feeling? It's nice to see your face.
Yeah, you too. It's been quite a while.
I know. Your beard is gray. Maybe that's just the sunlight.
It could be glistening.
Glistening. So, so you're on the pod. Welcome to I'm Fine, Everything is Fine. I'm glad you're here.
How's it going?
Yeah, good. So I just, my birthday was yesterday, and we were talking about mortality. But the other thing I wanted to talk to you about was kind of like what you went through last year when you were kind of changing jobs.
I've changed jobs, I think, again since I probably last
Holy shit,
talked
really?
to you.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
I know. I've had a lot of jobs in my life.
Yeah, you're like Homer Simpson.
Just keep going. But yeah, when the pandemic started, you were actually here visiting.
I was.
And I got laid off from my serving job at Chop House.
Yeah.
Chop House.
That's funny.
And I immediately applied for unemployment, but Colorado told me I hadn't worked in the state long enough to qualify.
Ouch.
So I was like, fuck. So then I hit up New Jersey because I had worked there for most of 2019, and they never got back to me.
Oh, wow.
It was, no one was working there. No one was emailing me back. So that was just a dead end.
Right. But
luckily.
Yeah, go ahead. I was going to say, it's just as we get into this part of the story that, like, for me, personally, I felt like you almost got your dream job, like, after that, where you transitioned next.
Sort of. Yeah. So I did go on unemployment. Colorado changed their laws and got back to me. I was able to go on unemployment, but it was limited, about 6 months, I would say. And the marijuana industry was still booming. Everyone was an essential worker at that time.
Wild.
So I was like, I've loved marijuana my whole entire life, and I need to see if this is another avenue that I might do.
If you can monetize it, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I got a job at they're called Hemp Temps. So it was
Hemp Temps.
Yeah.
That's hysterical. Sorry.
Sick.
That's awesome.
They're just like, you're like a freelancer, basically.
Right.
And places will, pick you up to trim weed, and they'll book you if you want to work 5 days a week. If you want to, do as much as you want, they'll keep booking you.
Yeah.
And they sent me to this place that was like, what felt like a rundown strip mall. there was like no signage, and that was my first place. And I like knocked on the door, and this is like in the pandemic, so the guy wasn't wearing a mask, and I was just like, I don't know about this.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was a weird, really weird vibe, and I didn't like it at all. But luckily, a farm called me the next day, and that was like more of what I envisioned I'd be working at. It was someone's house, and he owned the property and the farm behind it, and had sold it to a bigger. They were called Cannabis Corporation.
Okay, like a big cat. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and they own the farm now, and so there's like dogs on the farm, and there's like a very homey vibe, and
That's
just
cool.
a family vibe.
Yeah, that's up your alley.
Exactly. You know, it felt great, and everyone had a good attitude, and we were just listening to music and talking podcasts and things like that.
And
So
it was good, but then they made like some big promises to you, correct?
yeah, they started a whole. So at first, it was just wholesale bud that they were selling. You know, pounds of weed.
Pounds of weed. Isolate that clip. Go ahead.
And I think I sent you some pictures and videos of like working around there.
Right.
But then they switched. They were doing infused blunts, sold by one of our sales representatives called Rasta Rani.
Okay. Rasta Rani.
His whole Instagram and persona and everything, that's him, and he's labeled on the bottle, but sold by our weed.
Right.
And so I went into more of like a distribution role where we'd get orders, I would fulfill them, pack them up, send them out.
Right.
And I was told, you know, it was a new position, a new section of the company, and I kind of expected anything when you move up in a company, a letter telling you this is your new pay, this is like...
Okay. Sorry, you're good. Keep going.
And this is outlining everything we expect of the job, the new job description, all that stuff. And I got nothing like that.
That sucks.
I got a runaround.
Yeah.
And in the end, I got like $1 an hour raise.
That sucks. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like I thought about it also around here. You know, it's not really open for recreational sale yet, but it's going to happen soon. And you look on Indeed or you look on ZipRecruiter, and there's like mad jobs for like flower this, dispensary that. A lot of more in Pennsylvania than New Jersey, which is very interesting to me.
Is Philadelphia decriminalized? Right?
Yeah, Philly's decriminalized, and it's medical in Pennsylvania. Okay. And there's just so many medical dispensaries like just outside the city, like there's so many of them. But yeah, it sucked because like I remember you telling me how everything was kind of like everything was going really well, and then it just like smoke and mirrors eventually. And I always felt bad because like I wanted to get into the cannabis field too. Like I wanted to work at a dispensary or a smokehouse or something, But yeah, so and then what did you do after that, or did you have something else? I'm sorry.
No, that was once that happened. I actually came, I think, to visit you guys in June.
It was July or something, right?
Something like that, yeah. And then immediately after that, Hannah and I went to a wedding at her in Ohio for her cousin, and that was like my last straw. Like I came back, I used the travel as I was sick. I wasn't feeling well. And I hopped on Indeed, and I went on 3 interviews at 3 different restaurants, and I got the job at each different one.
Oh,
and
really?
Told them, I told each one I would take it. I had to call 2 and be like, sorry, no, I chose someone else.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
I got a job at a fine dining place in Longmont that was dinner only. Okay. So my hours were decreased, and I was making double what I was making.
Holy shit. That's awesome, dude. Yeah, just think about that. So Evan and I just went 2 weeks ago to celebrate our 50th episode of the podcast. We went to the Chop House. Thank you.
Nice.
Yeah, we went to the Chop House, and for the first time in 9 years, I had steak. And
I was about to say, man, what the hell? For you to eat at the Chop House?
Yeah, I had a filet mignon. I actually did. It was wild. It was a mind fuck. And we talked about it on last week's episode, but you should check out the
first
video.
I'm here, but how are your battles afterwards?
My first question. Yeah.
Evan texted me like 3 hours later. He's like, "Are you okay? Have you shit yourself yet?" It's like, "No, I didn't shit myself yet." But it was okay. Like after I was good for about 30 hours, and then shortly thereafter, it started like when it had to come out, it was a little rough. Yeah. It's funny because with the plant-based diet, you could eat something and it could be through you in like a couple hours. But like when I eat meat, it was in there. It took a full day like to even feel it. Like it was rough. But it was fun. It was good. It was interesting. It was wild, dude. I know that are you still a vegetarian?
Still vegan.
Vegan. There you go. So
Nice.
so it was a mind fuck. It was wild. You should I suggest doing it just one more time before you die. Just before you die. Anytime, really.
And I've always talked about like if I visited someplace, I would probably give into the culture.
Yeah.
And try something there.
Yeah.
Just because, like, you only live once, and
exactly.
Try it.
Yeah, and after I did eat the steak, I mean, I've gone back. I'm just back to my regular, just plant-based self. I still eat. I'm not vegan, but it's okay. I'm fine with that.
Cheddar Bay biscuits from Red Lobster.
Yo, 18. I buy 18 at a time, dog. Didn't I find a Red Lobster out there when I went to? Didn't I go to a Red Lobster out there in Colorado? Yeah, I did.
Came back with that giant like box of it.
Your car smelled like them for like 2 days. Anyway, all right. Well, listen, Mitchell, thank you. I wanted to talk about and I mean, now you're making plenty of money. Or did you switch jobs again?
Yes, I did switch jobs again because the fine dining place had a really nice patio, but once the summer ended, their
business dropped.
Yeah, it was nothing. And I'm making back the money I made at the farm, and so I'm like frustrated. Hannah, my fiance, and now Harry. Harry left Trader Joe's.
Oh wow! Yeah, his brother worked he was famous in the area at Trader Joe's. Yeah,
famous in the.
He was just famous. He was like, "Oh, there's his brother's Harry." Exactly.
Still happy.
Yeah. So he left. But where did he go now? Where's he at?
So now he's at the Post in Boulder.
Okay.
And Hannah works for the Post in Longmont.
Okay.
They've actually been on diners, drive-ins, and dives.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
So anytime that episode airs, they get like an influx of business and stuff.
Of course.
But the umbrella company of their restaurant owns a fine dining seafood place, a Mexican place, a barbecue place, like a whole bunch of different style restaurants.
Yeah.
And so I went and applied for the Boulder position at their fine dining seafood place.
Okay.
Got the job, and I've been serving, bartending, doing a little bit of. They're a shared tip system.
Okay.
So you're start at level 1 or tier 1, a base pay rate, and then you can move up as you learn more positions and things like that. So all the tips are split with the back of the house and the front of the house as well.
Okay, nice. I like that. That's nice.
Yeah, it makes the animosity between, why is my shit taking so long at the back of the house? Why is the host not seating me? Everyone works together, and we're all making the money together.
That's cool.
And the GM just asked me if I would consider moving up to the AGM in a few months around sometime.
Okay. Now that's awesome. I have a serious question for you though. Now, is the AGM? Do you have to do the Coyote Ugly show at the bar, or?
Yeah, I got to show my hairy ass.
I could just see you flipping bottles around. Like, hey,
yeah, not that kind of stuff.
It's fine dining. It's fine dining. That's all right. I haven't been to a fine dining restaurant since that we went, and then before that, it's been a very long time.
Yeah.
But all right, listen, Mitchell. Thank you for answering. I love you. I miss you. It's good to see your face.
You.
Hey, you made the pod.
Yeah. Happy belated birthday.
Thank you. That means a lot. Thank you. I love you.
I love you too.
All right, I'll talk to you. Bye.
Bye.
All right, that was fun. So that was my friend Mitchell. I wanted to call him and ask about the cannabis industry. Yeah. And I hope the audio came right through. That was great.
The audio came right through. That was the first thing
awesome.
I checked.
That was
like,
great.
And yeah, it sounds great.
It sounds good.
Right where it needs to be.
Good. All right. So where am I at here? Let me see. Bang. Okay. Very good. So do you watch Euphoria at all?
Yeah.
It's stupid. Don't watch it. Stop watching it.
Dude, it's done now. The second season's done. It's
Do you,
too
you
late.
really watch it?
Yeah.
What do
I
you
watch
like
it with
about
Kate.
it?
Yeah. I
Okay.
watch it with Kate.
I watch it with my girl. Why does she like it? Do you guys like it?
So, I'll tell you what.
Does it kind of give you flashbacks?
No.
Okay.
It's nothing like my high school experience.
That's funny.
I hate every single character in the show
Except
nobody. Everybody's a fucking asshole.
you hate everybody.
Everybody.
What do you like about it?
The drama. I can't stop fucking watching it. I can't
Easy.
stop
The table's
watching
rocking
it.
a
Yeah,
little
I'm
bit.
sorry.
It's okay. That's funny.
So I won't give spoilers, but I will say season 1 or
Yeah.
season 2, the first episode of season 2. I don't know if I've talked about this.
I don't think we talked about
I think
it.
I wanted to.
I can't stand everybody talking about it.
So the first episode of the new season, there's like a 10-minute shot of just dicks like, everywhere, like all flaccid dicks. But let me tell you, they're all small.
Oh, that's
So
awkward.
I was talking to, like, I leaned to my girl and I'm like, I've never felt better about myself. Like, this is the best episode of television I've ever seen.
Oh my god.
But then also, there's the whole second season builds up to this play, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I won't give anything away about the play for those who haven't seen it. Mm-hmm. All I'm going to remind people is that this is a high school production, supposed to be, right?
Does it take place in LA or something like that, right?
Probably somewhere
California.
in California, yeah. Because the housing, they look like
Yeah.
California housing.
Yeah.
But the show, I don't recommend it to people because it's kind of like watch it if you want. But it's either you love it or you hate it type
Right.
of thing.
Yeah.
I personally, I can't stop watching it, but I hate everything about the show.
That's funny. That is too funny. I just can't stand how everybody talks about it. And I'm just like, I don't get it. I just don't get it. So I'm like,
Watch an episode and you'll get it. I don't know if you'll want to keep watching, but you'll get it.
maybe, I guess.
There was a scene
Does everybody like wear eye makeup in it or something like that? Is that a thing?
about.
Is that a thing?
in the new season. They premiered a new character. He's got the Apple logo tattooed in his face. I was
Listen,
losing
Nelly.
it. His name's Elliot. Yeah. So you were almost there. You were on par.
I did start watching Yellowstone. I don't know.
yeah?
Have you watched that at all?
Are you racist yet?
So no, but I will tell you what I am. I have started talking like in proverbs all the time. Like whenever my wife asks me something, I'm like, "Well, yeah, I'll do it." Only if I, take the cows out for. I don't know. I can't. Like it makes when you listen to Kevin Costner and who's the other guy? Guy's name's Rip. That's his character on there. When you listen to them talk,
Tim
they
McGraw?
like no. That's in the other series because there's like an 1880, 83 or something. Yeah. So anyway, I'm learning it. I'm getting it. But like when you watch Kevin Costner like for that long, like for several hours at a time, you start to talk like him, and it's like
I watch anybody long enough and I'll start talking like them.
yeah, it's like my daughter's like, Daddy, why can't we go get a McFlurry from McDonald's? It's like, well, honey, the day is done and we're gonna go and rest for tomorrow.
When the day is done, we have many cattle to herd and many oats to sow.
It's red in the evening, sailor's warning.
That's not it.
That's his whole.
not it.
That's what they did. They just like flipped through a bunch of old proverbs, and that's how they wrote every line from Kevin Costner in this fucking show. It's a great show. Like
I've heard it's great. Yeah.
My wife said it the best. It's essentially like cowboy mafia. That's all it is. It's just a cowboy mafia movie or a show, and it's also there's some sort of. It's based on like real characters or a real person or something like that or a family. I don't know. Maybe not. We'll see.
I'll have to check it out.
I got a clip for you. You want to play a clip?
Yeah, let's play a clip, dog.
Yeah, hit it.
Like when I tell people I'm a comedian, a lot of people say like, "Oh, you must have had a fucked up childhood." Dude, no. I didn't, man. My childhood ripped. Man, I had so many toys. Like my parents were good. My parents were always there for me. That's hilarious. Like anytime I was like, "Dad," he'd be like, "Yeah." Yeah, they tucked me in every night. They tucked me in. They'd stop at the doorway. They'd be like, "Remember, we love you." Like, dude, go to bed. Anytime I was scared, I remember from my room to their room, I'd be like, "Guys, I'm scared." They'd be like, "Of what?" "Everything's great." I'd be like, "Oh yeah," and then go back to sleep. Like, no, man. They're still together now, man. I've tried to break them up the whole time. They won't.
It's funny. I love that. That was Chris D'Elia from his TikTok.
It's a shame. Didn't he touch kids?
He basically was like a sex addict, and he was like cheating a lot and like essentially banging everything that moved. But you know, and they got canceled because I don't think it was real accusations. I think it was all fake and made up.
I don't know. I know he's balding now.
He's on a new podcast. So if you know Theo Von or Brendan Schaub, they have
Theo Von's pretty funny.
Theo Von has his own pod, and then they have it's called King and the Sting. It's Brendan and Theo. Okay. And then recently Chris has been joining in the last few weeks. So it's the King and the Sting, and they call him the Wing or something like that. It's so stupid. But anyway, I think it's hysterical. It's a good podcast if you listen to a King and the Sting, and Theo's really, they call him the Rat King, and he's really funny, dude.
He's funny.
And they you know what I also like about that podcast, and which is something that I hope our pod will eventually become, is that people submit videos and stuff, and they have all these different themes, and they call in and they send videos and they like discuss stuff. It's a really good interactive show.
Yeah, submit videos and we'll make fun of you for 10 minutes.
Oh yeah, dude, people send videos all the time. That's awesome. Let me ask you a question, Evan. Before
ask me a question.
I pack this bong. Let me ask you a question. When you walk your dog, okay, you walk your dog, right,
often,
all the time, yeah, because you don't have like a big backyard. So. Do you watch your dog shit? Like, do you watch the shit come out of your dog's ass? Have we talked about this?
I don't know. So, yes and no. Recently, especially at night, yeah, I guess she always thinks she hears something. So she'll circle to poop. Yeah. And then she'll look at me. Yeah. She's like, "You got me?"
Right, because
you got me.
You have to look. You have to be the one covering her six.
Exactly.
Yes.
So because I wear the headlamp so she can see the beam where I'm going. Yep, so I'll look around and I'll be like, "You're good. I got you. I got you, girl.
I got you, Sav."
I won't watch her at night, but during the day, I usually try to make sure I check it out. This way, it's like, what's it look like? Is it soft? Does it look unhealthy?
Yeah, I always look at my dogs when they take a shit too. I can't not. If I let them out and I'm just going to watch them take a shit. I just want to make sure they're healthy. It's coming out good.
Exactly. Yeah.
They're not running around and squeaking out.
I don't get off on watching my dog shit or something. But
speak for yourself. No. Oh god.
But I don't try to watch it leave her butthole. That's for sure.
All right, good. I'm going to put you on the spot again. You ready?
Yeah.
So we had a conversation in a group chat. It was like 3 weeks ago, and I mentioned to you that a mutual friend of ours was going to dump his load in a girl, okay? And you said, and I'm throwing you on the spot here, you said it makes you nervous.
Yeah.
Dumping in girls, and you've only done it a couple times.
A couple times.
Okay, all right.
A couple times. Okay. I can count on one hand the number of times.
You just let it free flow, right in there?
Yeah.
Get the lighter? Thanks, Dom. Yeah, so it makes you nervous, huh? Just nervous because of STDs or nervous for babies?
I go in raw all the time.
Okay, you just don't finish.
I haven't worn a condom since Vietnam. That's a lot. That's a long time. Go ahead. That was funny. But
yeah, no, condoms are for squares, dude.
Yeah, fuck that. But I'm not ready to be a father, right? So with that being said, I am not going to finish it.
You're just not going to do it.
No, my girl is on birth control.
Okay, good.
She's got the explosive in her.
So if sperm hits it, her uterus just explodes?
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
It's the IED. No, it's the IUD.
I think, God. Sorry, that was
funny. But I call it the IED.
Okay.
Because, if sperm touches it, it's going to explode. That's what I tell her.
That's amazing.
But she's down for it. She's cool with it. Of course. She wants my kids.
Right, of course.
But, I'm not ready to be a dad. Right. Not yet. Yeah. And with that comes with me missing out on the pleasure that is leaving it in.
Leaving it in and letting it soak.
Yeah, letting it soak. That's what they call it. They call it soaking. It's
that's the Mormons. Yeah. We've heard about that with the bed, and they push on the bed. Yeah, their friends will push the bed, and then they won't. Yeah, that was gross.
Funny.
Ew, soaking. Oh,
but yeah,
God.
so I will lose that enjoyment.
You'll just
for the responsibility of
because you'll get it later in life, right?
Yeah.
Right? After you have a kid, you just take a little snip. All right, now, would you get a vasectomy or no? Later
I've
in life?
thought about it in general. So we've talked about yours on here,
I had
right?
it, yeah. I had one.
So ever since you got yours, that's got me thinking. Because it's they are reversible.
They are.
Even if I could freeze some to
You could
keep in the meantime?
You can freeze some. Usually they reserve that for people who are going to lose their testicles.
Oh, okay.
So like who won't be able to, like they're getting surgically removed for cancer or
didn't know
something.
that.
They'll reserve the freezing thing for that.
I'll freeze it myself.
We got a refrigerator.
Freezer,
Yeah,
yeah.
there's a fucking refrigerator right there. We
Yeah,
got little
cup.
ice cube trays. You just put like a little bit in each
Just
one.
squirt a little bit.
Honey, I got 12 kids here. Wait
Honey,
for it.
don't touch these until you're ready.
If you leave it on the linoleum, it'll warm up the body temperature.
Don't put them in the microwave. You'll kill them.
Oh my God! Injecting yourself with mutated microwave sperm. Do you think it's happened?
my
It's
God.
probably happened.
It's
before.
for sure happened.
That's an abomination.
It's for sure happened.
So I have a terribly shameful story I have to tell you. I was at the day after we recorded last. Okay, literally the day after we recorded last. I went to the Camden Aquarium, and I took
And you jerked off there.
No, I took my son, and it was great. And we loved the aquarium. It was so much fun, right? Well, as we were leaving, let's go take a piss real quick. Sure, we'll go take a piss before we get in the car to go home. I decided to put my jacket on because we were about to leave while we're in the stall, and my prized tie-dye Eagles hat that is on the album artwork for us on all of our podcasts and all of our platforms, my most favorite hat in the whole fucking world, fell off my head, and it landed in the fucking toilet in the Camden Aquarium, where my son pissed all over it because I couldn't grab it fast enough. Oh my God.
I can see it all happen. I bet it happened in slow motion for you too.
It did.
Falls
I
off
felt
your
it.
hat.
Yep. Falls
You
off.
see it.
Yep.
But you can't react.
I-
because you're shocked. You're frozen.
My arms were in my sweater. I was trying to put my sweater on, and I went to go grab my hat off the top, and it went like that, and that was it.
so
And
were you pissing too?
No, just my son was pissing, and I was facing the door because I was trying to like just not hit him while I put my hoodie on, And so and it just fell. Felt it hit my shoulder,
R.I.P.
and then I looked down, and that thing was. Here's the worst part. I'm pretty sure that's where I got COVID from. I'm pretty sure after my hat fell in the toilet and I grabbed it right out, I'm pretty sure I got COVID after that. I know. I still can't smell anything. I'm serious.
Oh my God. You're
Yeah.
funny.
I was down, dude. I was down. I had COVID last week.
You like had it?
I had
it?
COVID, yes.
I'm vaxxed. I'm cool.
I was saving the podcast to tell you. I didn't tell you during the whole week. That's when you asked me, you were like, yo, dog, we're filming our music video. And you were like, seeing what I was doing. I was like, yeah, I'm sick. I'm not feeling good. I got to relax or something. I told you. I did say
tell
that.
me
Yeah.
You did.
I know. I was waiting for the podcast to tell you.
That's fair. That's totally fair.
I was out of work last week for 5 days.
Good. Fuck him.
Oh, man. And what's interesting, the most interesting thing about it is the asomnia. The anosmia, or whatever the fuck it's called, where you can't taste or smell anything.
Oh, I don't know what that's called.
That's something like that. Anosmia, or anyway. That's the most interesting thing about it. Like, I get wisps every now and again, and I can taste and smell things here and there, but it's not, I can't smell or taste anything, dude. It's wild.
I hope I hear some people that lose their sense of taste and smell through COVID. When they eventually do get it back, everything tastes rotten.
I heard that everything tastes different, like at least different. I don't know about rotten, but that sucks if that's the case.
That really sucks. That really sucks. I really hope that doesn't happen to you.
I know. Tell me about it. Yeah, so there's a little bit of shame when it comes to it. I mean, yeah, I'm unvaccinated, so I'm one of those unvaccinated infected people now. But I lived through it when I had a family member get it, and I was in the same house, and everything. I was fine, and I hardly felt anything, and then all of a sudden, just out of nowhere, I'm just grabbing hats out of toilets, and I get fucking COVID. Like, what the fuck?
I think I got it when I went to Disney because I came home and I was.
You said, yeah, you weren't feeling too hot when you came home.
No, I was not. I was not good at all.
So here's what happened to me. It was like one day, that happened on one day. Then 2 days later, I got a fever. and then all of a sudden the next day, like snot, I feel swollen in my sinuses, and I was like, oh, it's nothing. And then like another day goes by, I'm like, that's nothing, and then I'm like, I should probably test myself. Like, this is not good. So I tested myself, and I was like, oh my God, you got to be kidding me. So I like isolated. I was not at work. I didn't see my family. I didn't, we kept the kids home. It was a whole thing. Yeah, dude. It was a whole thing. So, yeah, but I'm fine now, except for the smell thing. That's it. Damn. I know, it's so weird. It is so weird.
I don't like that.
Yeah, I know.
I hope it works out for you, dog.
Thank you. Do you know who Big Sean is?
Yeah.
You know who he is?
Yeah, I know Big Sean.
Do you know what a Nintendo Switch is?
Yeah.
Did you hear about the picture that he put out?
No.
The picture they put out of his ding dong? He sent a big picture of his dick. It's the length of a Nintendo Switch. I was on Twitter the other day, and I'm like promoting the podcast, and I see it's Big Sean is trending. I'm like, what the fuck is?
What is Big Sean trending for?
And then I see some tweets, and it's like all these girls, and they're like, why is Big Sean trending? And it's like all these like fever pitch girls, and you're like, like waving their faces and shit. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And then sure enough, I scroll down far enough, and you see the picture. He posted it on his Instagram story. His fucking erect penis right next to a Nintendo Switch controller.
Like the whole Switch.
Like it's the length, and then the funny
the Switch
thing,
or the Switch Lite?
No, the Switch, like the full, like the John that's like this,
the whole
like
John.
The John, yeah, with the
Bro, my girl has
10
one. I've seen her play. It's just
10
holding it up like
inches.
this. Dog,
It's
chill,
10
my
inches.
girl's on that app.
People started to put up like the schematics, the building schematics for a Switch, and it was like 9.78 inches or something like that. It was really funny, yeah. So I don't know who Big Sean is. I don't even know any of his music.
But you know
like
how
that.
big his cock is.
Now I know a lot about him now all of a sudden.
We became an expert.
Oh my God. So before we get into news, hit the time on there. What are we at? Switch it.
I don't know. My girl called me though.
Bang. Okay, yeah, we're good. We're on track. So before we get to news, I did have one other thing I wanted to read you. And this is one of the things I've been getting into lately and trying to find a little bit of content is Reddit advice, Reddit subreddit advice.
Some of that too, actually.
And the problem with Reddit, like advice, Reddit/advice, is it's like it should just be changed to was it rape or not? Like that's what it should be. Like everything is like sexual assault on there. Advice, my husband or advice, my cousin told me, or advice, this girl at school. It's like, is it rape or not? Like that's all it is. Like that's all people ask on there. So
and 90% of the time,
it's rape.
Like rape.
Yeah, it's rape.
Sounds like rape.
R/90% rape. That's what it should be. But what I did find was another subreddit. It's called Subreddit. Another subreddit. Easy talk. You just smashed the fucking cameras. Oh my God. It's called True Off My Chest. Okay, that's subreddit True Off My Chest. So it's people telling things that they have to get off their chest, right?
Okay.
So this is from this person, this user, Switoof or Switoof or something like that.
Switoof.
I don't know, Switoof. It says, not safe for work. It says, I ate my husband's ass today. He's very vanilla, and I don't mind it one bit. My craziness is enough for the both of us, but I've always wanted to eat his ass. Isolate that. I begged him for 3 weeks before he let me. Well, he loved it, and I did not. And he's asking for more. What have I done? That's fucking. Do you know what Pandora's box is? That shit. Have you ever had your ass eaten before?
No.
No. It's not your cup of tea.
No.
Not a Scrum Master.
I've had some fingers attempted to be shoved up my ass.
Okay. I think we talked about that
I've
once.
gone soft immediately, like every time.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. We'll have to try that out later. Do you need? Is there something that like you need to like be able to get off? Like, does it have to be like dark in the room?
A connection,
Does it have
bro.
to? Oh, shut the fuck
I
up.
swear to God.
I just have to look into your eyes, and then we can fuck. Is everything
have to
okay?
know.
Is everything okay? We can fuck now because we have a connection.
Are you done?
I'm ready to go now. Oh my God, that's so funny. That is so funny.
No,
Anyway,
I mean I like low lights.
low light. Low light's nice. I like low light.
It's always nice.
Soft
A
features.
candle sometimes
You
does
fucking
it.
candle. I love it.
I love candles.
You're so funny, dude.
Maybe sensual jazz in the background.
Oh yeah, sensual jazz.
I remember I did have a playlist on one time, and then Uptown Girl came on.
That had to be a little much.
Yeah, my girl got up and was like, "I'm not fucking you to Uptown Girl."
I'm not fucking you to Billy Joel.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh my God, that's funny.
So sorry, Billy, but you didn't get me laid.
Shut up, dickwad.
There you go. That's for you.
That's for me.
Yeah, I got another one for you. Here you go.
Smothered me in gravy, you big dirty man.
Baby gravy.
Oh my God, that's funny. All right, I think I'm ready.
Ready for news?
I think I'm ready for the news. This is Evan and Drew with the news.
Got today, boys. I never said anything.
1.5 million people have fled Ukraine and are now refugees at neighboring countries. The vast majority of them going to Poland, and Poland has welcomed them with open arms.
It's time for America to get back to work and fill our great downtowns again with people. Our schools are open. Let's keep it that way. Our kids need to be in school.
The best answer to that question is the last 10 days. We've been here, ready to bargain, full committees, owners, players for 10 days, and it got going 2 days before the deadline. That's the best explanation I can give.
Doesn't sound like an explanation there,
Any
Commissioner.
of the questions remaining about what Bill's relationship there was, those are for Bill to answer.
That's Melinda sitting down with CBS Morning's Gayle King on Thursday, her first wide-ranging interview since the split announcement in May.
Little light on the news this week. Little light on the news. It's mostly because of the Ukraine thing and the Russian thing, and that leads to everything. And
Yeah, that's all that's in the news.
yeah, no, everything's.
Ukraine is game to you.
I'm sorry, that's not very loud. I gotta fix that. Hold on, let me fix that. There we go. Ukraine's weak to you.
Ukraine is game to you.
Oh, it's game to you. I'm sorry, that's from Seinfeld. Yeah, so many news things that did not happen this week because everybody's been talking about fucking Russia and Ukraine. I did have this interesting news story I wanted to read to you, and I don't think you've heard it yet, but we'll see. Okay, let's see here, Evan. We've got, oh God, yeah, Jesus Christ, pop-ups. A shooter fired at officers. Police say a 4-year-old acting on his dad's instructions was the shooter. 4-year-old fires at officers. Says, as police struggled to arrest a man who allegedly pulled a gun on a McDonald's worker for messing up his order, one of the officers turned towards the man's car. He saw a gun pointed at his fellow officers. The officer swiped the gun to the side as it fired, and a bullet grazing his arm, shooting up the awning above the McDonald's drive-thru. It was then that he got a look at the shooter, a 4-year-old boy. The police say the boy fired because his father, Sadat Johnson, had told him to shoot the officers. Aside from the intervening officer, no one was hurt. Johnson, 27, he was arrested during the Monday afternoon incident, charged with felony child abuse and threatening use of a dangerous weapon. So, like, shout out to that fucking cop who saw the gun and didn't pull his gun and fucking fire it. Could you imagine?
If he shot a baby?
Yeah, if he shot anybody, if the 4-year-old shot anybody, could you imagine? Number one. Number two, it's like
The 4-year-old shot at the officer.
he did, but he didn't hit anybody. So it might as well not have happened.
Fucking horrible shot. Next time, don't get a fucking 4-year-old to do.
He's clearly too young enough to play, or he's clearly too young to play Call of Duty. So he doesn't know how to shoot a gun yet. You know, his hands are too small.
That's true. That's true. If the war is going to be in VR
Yeah,
or on Warzone, we have a chance.
we do. Well, isn't that what what's his face fucking said? Kushner this week? No, not Kushner. Oh God, Zuckerberg. That's him.
Zuckerberg.
Kushner. You know what? Think about it. That was a Freudian slip, but Kushner and Zuckerberg kind of look alike a little bit, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so Zuckerberg, he came out and he was like, "Everybody's gonna live in the metaverse eventually, so just fucking succumb to it, bro."
I'm not nobody. No.
I'm not doing it.
No, I'm not living in a fucking metaverse,
Yeah,
Mark.
I'm not doing it. Mark. What are you, his best friend?
No, but he knows who I am.
He knows who he is. I mean, who I am, son of a bitch.
His AI has grown.
Oh my God. And then I got this story. This is a funny story. Well, it's not funny, but it's kind of funny. It's funny the way it was quoted. It says, man threatened to, quote, cut the gay out of his brother.
How do you do that?
It says, while threatening his brother with a knife, a Florida man said that he was going to, quote, cut the gay out of his sibling, according to the police, and arrested on multiple criminal charges.
Cut the gay out of you.
It was a violent dispute in Miami. David Martinez, 40, and his brother. Oh God, this is not good when they use the word kin. It says Martinez's kin told cops that his kin told that his siblings had been, quote, acting strangely since last night and threatening him with sharpening a large kitchen knife and telling him he was going to cut the gay out of him. I don't even know what led him to even say this. There's like nothing. They're just repeating the same thing over and over again. And he got charged with aggravated.
To say anything?
I don't know, but like I like pick these stories and they're just like out of control. Like it's just absolutely out of control. Like what is a 4-year-old doing shooting at people? And then what the fuck is this guy cutting the gay out of his brother for?
As you can tell, parenting has just been...
It's been on a downfall ever since.
Yeah.
But you want to be a father.
Eventually. I think I'd make a good dad, I think.
It'd be really funny if like you went, okay, let's say you and Kate are pregnant and you go to like the first doctor's appointment and you're there and you're talking and the doctor's like, oh yeah, what are you most excited for, Evan, being a dad? Well, you know what? I can't wait to really cut the gay out of my son when he comes into this world.
I can't wait until he turns 4. This way I can take him on his first shooting rampage.
Where at? McDonald's.
Up and down I-95.
Have you ever heard of Bob's Big Boy? Oh my God. Anyway, do you have any? Are you like? Let me just ask you a personal question. This just popped into my head. Are you like? Is there anything you're like? And don't say the obvious, but are you like truly scared of? Like, is there anything you're truly scared of for being a parent? Like, what? Like, is there anything that scares you? Yeah. And don't say I don't want my kid to die. Like, don't say that. Is there anything else that like truly scares you about being a parent, or about thinking about it in your head? Do you want to elaborate or no?
I'm trying to...
think of the words.
No, I'm trying to pick the right words.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes.
Okay.
Because, like, I could not be a good dad.
Okay. So you're afraid of, like, failure? Is that what you're...
I'm afraid of failing.
Okay.
I'm also just afraid of the world that is going on around us right now.
Right.
And how worse, better, how much it could go either way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So to bring a child into that world scares me.
Yeah.
And then, I have my own issues. Some of them could be genetic.
My kid's not going to have as cool hair as I have. What are we going to do about that?
My kid would, if he looks like me, he's good. He's fine.
He's got a bigger dick than all the Euphoria kids.
Have you seen a Nintendo Switch?
I have as a matter of
all
fact.
the Euphoria kids. That was a good one. Though.
Thank you.
But a lot of things scare me about it, and that's why I don't have one yet.
Right.
Speaking of the fucking devil.
Programming break. Nice little programming break right there. Very
Sorry,
good.
my girl walked in. My dog went nuts a little.
It's okay.
That was going on. So.
That's okay. I did have one more news thing, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Let me hit back on the news here. Did I have one more? Oh yeah, this was a creepy story. I'll just kind of breeze over it though. But I wanted to put this on the pod. Just listen. If you're staying in an Airbnb, dude, just
check for cameras.
And the cameras can look like anything, and that's a problem. But like, don't have sex in an Airbnb. If you're going somewhere, just don't have sex in the Airbnb. Okay. This guy right here. This story. This is from the U.S. Sun. It says. Voyeur horror. Airbnb cabin owner secretly took 2,000 videos of guests naked and having sex on a hidden camera disguised as a Wi-Fi router. Anything can be a fucking camera these days. Like
I've seen them that are like the bricks.
Yeah, like the charging bricks. Yeah, and you can use it to charge something, and it will still record.
Yep,
it's fucking wild, dude. No way. So if you go to an Airbnb, check that shit for cameras. This guy, he was arrested. Thank God. It was a secluded Texas cabin that, and he made it look like a power adapter for a router. And it faced the fucking bed.
Can I at least get a copy? Like,
Everything I ever wanted in my primary bedroom at the Airbnb. A Wi-Fi router plugged into the wall. You got to have good Wi-Fi in the primary bedroom at an Airbnb.
Put it on the floor.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cover it up. That was the first thing I did when we went to the room for Disney.
What?
I looked for cameras.
You did?
Yeah, it's Disney, but
still.
You don't know.
I know. Oh, man,
Maybe somebody before us.
Yeah, maybe.
I go to Mexico on Saturday. It's the first thing I'm gonna do when I get to my room.
Are you going to Mexico?
Hmm?
Really?
Yeah, Dallas.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Really? Going to Mexico?
Yeah, I was supposed to go to Jamaica.
Right.
I went to Disney instead.
Right. And then you just rescheduled
So we rescheduled
for a Mexico
Jamaica.
trip. And where are you going? Where in Mexico?
It's like just south of Cancun.
Just south. Oh, that's the rough patch. No, I don't know. I'm just kidding.
It might be.
I don't know anything. I don't know anything about Mexico.
It's a newer resort.
Yeah.
I don't know. You could ask her. She'll tell you everything.
I'll ask her. Yeah, I'll ask her. I'll get your flight info and I'll get everything so that way I know where you're at.
3 hour and 45-minute flight.
Have you ever had the opportunity to put in like a flight, like a call number for a flight into Google? Have you ever seen that before? So if you know somebody who's on a plane, ask them what the flight number is, you know? And
that was the news.
All that shit.
Evan and Drew.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if you just all you have to say is like, let's say you're on the Delta Airlines flight D367. And you type it in, Google finds it and will show you where the plane is. It'll show you the altitude. It's crazy. It'll show you how fast it's going, when it's going to land. It's fucking wild, dude. Ooh. So anyway, I don't know. I just figured I'd share that.
Look that up.
Yeah, that's not my recommendation though. Do you want to do recommendations?
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Oh, recommendations right now?
Yeah, no, like hit it.
And that was the news with Evan and Drew.
I have 2 recommendations this week, sir. I have 2 recommendations for the people. Where are my people at? Where? I got 2
They're right here.
Like bona fide, really, really, really good recommendations.
Hit me.
Okay. My first recommendation is to grow a beard.
A great big bushy beard.
No, I'm just kidding. That's not my recommendation. I just wanted an excuse to play that clip. So my first recommendation is a podcast. It's called Yanni Long Days with a comedian. His name is Giannis Pappas. I'm just starting to get into it. I've listened to him on many other podcasts. I mean, he was just on Joe Rogan a month ago. He's friends with like Tim Dillon, and he's friends with Chris DiStefano, and those are guys that I really enjoy. He's like a New York comedian. He's been there. He still lives there, and he does this podcast. He actually did a podcast with Chris DiStefano years ago, a couple years ago, called History Hyenas. And it was like comedy and history podcasts. Very good. But they haven't been doing that for a long time. But Giannis Pappas has his own thing. Like I said, it's called Yanni Long Days. It's his own podcast. He has guests on. And then the regular guys that he has in there with him, too, are really funny. I've only listened to a handful of them, but I'm willing to recommend it. It's actually very funny, and he goes hard sometimes, but it's that New York kind of edge. And I really like those comedians.
What's it called again?
It's called Yanni Long Days. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so it's on Apple and YouTube and all that. But yeah, so check that out. And then I have another recommendation, but if you have something, and then I'll finish up with mine.
Okay. Yes, I recommend listening to the new Peach Pit album.
Oh, nice.
I can't talk about it enough. I've
Very
listened
cool.
to it like 7 times all the way through.
Nice.
I'm playing along with my guitar to it, learning the songs.
It's cool. It sounds different.
It's really cool. It's got like a country twang to it.
It does kind of have a country twang, and it has a I mean, their production already was pretty interesting to begin with, but it just has like this weird like open room kind of feel to it. Mm-hmm. That's what I kind of get from it, and like you like hear them like picking up the instruments almost. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you can hear them like getting ready to play. Mm-hmm. Like I like that, and
it's
like
really cool.
You could hear it in a couple of the tracks, and I think that's fucking cool. Like when this they like creak on the stool or something. Like I don't know, it's stupid, but
no, I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah,
kind of shit.
I like that kind of shit. So it just shows that they're actually recording music, they're actually playing, and they're actually it's like real. Mm-hmm. It's real, and I like that. So, but that's my take on that album. Though.
Yeah, it's so good. Mm-hmm. It's not it's like you said. It's not like anything else they've done. Really.
Not that I've heard, and I'm not too familiar with their stuff. But
They're
Peach
kinda like
Pit, that album that you sent me, the last one was it All Your Friends? No,
the latest one is called From 2 to 3.
that's okay. From 2 to 3. That's the newest one.
That's the
what was the
newest
album? The other album that you sent me with
called You and Your Friends.
You and Your Friends. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That one came out like as the pandemic was starting.
Yeah, in 2020.
So they like had to cancel a bunch of tours,
That
and
sucks.
then when it was time to like announce tours again, they were like, "Well, 2 years have gone by. Like, let's put out more music. This way, it's not like we're just touring the same songs you've been listening to for 2 years."
Yeah,
which I thought was really cool.
Yeah, no, it's good.
And now
They
we got
focused
great
on it.
music.
They focused on it. and They did it. And that's good.
Yeah, it's fucking sick. So listen to Peach Pit from 2 to 3.
Nice.
The whole thing. My favorite song, I think, is Vicky. Just
That's
nice,
the first one you
groovy
sent
tune.
me. Yeah,
Yeah, that's so good.
it's good.
But otherwise, the whole thing rocks.
Nice.
Whole
All
thing
right, so pick it up from 3 to 2, Peach Pit. I do have one other suggestion. So listen, there's a lot, we're all dealing with our own shit, right? We all have our own nonsense that we're going through. I'm sure everybody who listens to this podcast at least maybe once a week, and depending on maybe you're just like a very docile person, but I'm sure once a week you felt like just fucking screaming out of frustration, right? Whatever it may be. You're just mad, right? I have a suggestion for somebody if you're just really angry and you need something to do that'll get the anger out, okay? I've done this for years, okay? What you do is you keep apples in your house, okay? And then when the apples are kind of like too soft or they're like too sweet, they got the spots on them, or maybe like the top of them starts to rot a little bit, you put all those apples in a basket or a bag or a satchel, and you fucking walk down to you walk somewhere where you can find a brick wall, okay? And then you stand about 10 feet away from that brick wall, and you throw each apple individually as hard as you can at the brick wall.
Do you warm up first, bro?
No
Dude,
warm
you're
up.
gonna throw your arm out.
Doesn't matter. No warm up necessary. And each one you throw it can represent something different that's been frustrating you during the week. And you throw that fucking apple at the brick wall, and what does it do? Have you ever thrown an apple at a brick wall?
It explodes.
It explodes, and it feels wonderful. Especially if you put somebody's face on there that you fucking can't stand and it's been bothering you all week. It will ice the anger. I guarantee it. You should try it. If you're really angry at somebody, grab that fucking apple and throw it at the brick wall. I'm serious, dude. I have never been so serious about anything in my life on this podcast.
This is serious.
So if you're frustrated, keep apples in your house, and then when you're ready and they're not edible and you can't use them to bake or nothing, and you don't want to just throw them in the trash, you take those apples and you get all the anger out and you throw it against a brick wall.
Interesting.
It's amazing. It's the best anger therapy that you'll do for whatever a fucking bag of apples costs.
Do you have the apples? Better question.
Yeah.
Is that when you know it's time to let your anger out?
What?
When the apples go bad?
You look at the apples, you're like, like you just turn into like the Hulk or something. It's time to let the anger out. It's time. No, you have to. So part of the process, part of the practice is not wasting apples, and you have to keep apples in your house. So that way, when you don't eat them, you have them to throw in your ammo. Now you could just go throw.
So then you keep.
You could just go
apples?
throw. Now listen, you just throw bad apples. You could literally just keep apples, or just go buy a bag of apples. But really, like, there's people dying in the Ukraine. You can just throw a fucking good apple at a brick wall and feel good about yourself. Like, really?
That's what you've been preaching for the past.
No, you got to throw the fucked up ones and the ones that are like spoiled, and you take them and you chuck them. And when that apple explodes, you watch it, and it's like a symphony of release. You watch it, and you watch it just hovering in front of you as it's approaching that brick wall, and then it just fucking explodes, and it's amazing.
You got to shoot it in 4K, bro.
We'll shoot it in 4K. We will record us throwing apples at a brick wall for our first video episode that we actually debut when my fucking...
It'll be like Office Space, but we're just in some
yeah,
special
exactly.
computer,
We're just throwing apples. Oh, God. It's my best advice I can give anybody. So that's it.
Sick.
Yeah. So one more thing I'll get into here, quick story, and then we'll hit the road, bro. You ready for this?
Yeah, bro.
Probably one of the more awkward moments I've ever had in my life. Probably one of the more awkward moments.
Tell me about it.
And we might have this person on. It's a friend of mine. and I told him a terrible joke about a blood bank. Okay. And I was talking about giving blood and also like the joke was involved like sperm donating and donating and this whole thing. Anyway.
Okay.
So I'm talking to my friend and we're talking about donating blood after the joke. And he goes, yeah, it sucks. I can't donate blood. And I'm like, oh, why not? Why can't you donate blood? He's like, oh, because I'm gay. And I just laughed, Evan. I just laughed out loud. Like it was the funniest thing I ever heard in my life. This friend of mine is gay. And what the fuck? Siri is gay. And this friend is gay. And also, I didn't even realize that you couldn't give blood if you were gay. Did you know that?
No.
I know. Isn't that fucked up?
That is fucked up.
Think about how awkward it was when I just laughed. Dude, I bellowed. Like, I was like, you're gay. And he was like, no, I'm serious. You can't give blood if you're gay. And I'm like, oh, really? And then I was like, thinking back to like, I gave blood a couple times. I've given it several times in my life.
Shit, I'm gay.
And I'm like, wait a second. I can't be giving blood. No, I was like, wait a second. Oh my God. And then I thought about it, and they do ask you that. They ask you if you've had homosexual intercourse it's on there. And he told me about this interesting thing when the Pulse nightclub shooting happened in Orlando. He said they just let gay people donate blood for that, but they wouldn't let and then ever since then they just stopped. I was like, that's so interesting. Here's my thing. If you're abstinent for a few months, why can't you give blood after that? Like I guess you know?
I didn't even know it was a problem.
I know. It's weird,
but
right?
Thinking on it, I don't know.
It's like you don't want to say it's a good idea because it seems discriminatory, correct?
It is discriminatory.
Oh, fuck yeah, it is.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you abstain from sex, why does this keep happening? Fucking Siri. And so it's so interesting, and I didn't realize that. But yeah, part of you is like, I want to say like, okay, I guess, but also no, because it's like you're
gonna. These people just want to donate blood.
It's like every time I get that fucking card in the mail now, and they're like, oh, it's Red Cross, we're in a blood shortage.
Nope,
Why don't
I'm
you?
gay.
Yeah, I'd be like, no, fuck you.
I'm gay.
You guys don't like homosexuals, and that's not cool, dude.
They'll blame it on medical. They'll be like, oh, well, we can't, because of like HIV and stuff. Straight people can have HIV. They're like, yeah, but
it was surprising to me, and it was awkward, and I had to share that with everybody about how, like, again, I'm willing to self-deprecate, and I looked like a fucking asshole when I laughed.
I bet you did.
Luckily, this gentleman that I was talking to, my friend, was very nice, and I want to have him on the podcast, and we can recount the story, or recount the story rather. I couldn't believe I said that, and I laughed, and it was the most awkward thing.
Do I know this person?
You may have met him once or twice, yes, through work, but yeah, it's hysterical. It was absolutely hysterical, and thank God he found it funny after the fact. But yeah,
That's why, dude, you're a fucking.
He's
prick.
like, you're an idiot.
That's all right. That's your lesson for the day.
That's your lesson for the day.
Gay people can't get blood, so when they tell you that, don't laugh at them. Like it's not a joke.
Recommendation: don't laugh at gay people when they tell you they can't do something because they're gay.
Just be like, okay, damn, I didn't know that. When they pass that law?
Oh my God. Anyway, all right. Listen, hey, you have a good week.
You too. I'm going to see you.